Hey everybody, it's the Minor Geek, also known as Vant Mario, and we are back with another painting video. We are back, we are live, we are in charge, um, and we are going to be doing some painting tonight. I'm just getting my lights in order here. Let's just get that light a little higher. All right, so we should have better lighting, and I'm intrigued what you guys think about the videos. I'm gonna have to check in. I mean, my video seems to be playing perfectly. But I feel like there is some potential for the coloring to be off. I don't know. But videos and sound, always let us know what you guys think. And I'm always intrigued. But we are back. We are painting. We are going to do some Marvel Crisis Protocol painting. I thought we'd start off with a little fun thing. Because I said that I was going to take a minute to not unbox more of these, and I totally lied. I am addicted beyond belief. The addiction is real. I am there. I am ready. I've been buying a ton of these. I basically bought out the store because I'm just super addicted to these, which is bad, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for it. But it is super, super awesome, super, super great, and I just love them. I just love getting the different D&D things. It's going to give us a lot of content, a lot rev up for what we're going to do. We are going to also work, of course, on the Black Order, which is what this video is about. So do not want people to think we are not working on them. There was a little snafu where we're going to finish him up. I may switch into a different model to paint because the other Black Order model that I was going to paint, it rained profusely around here, so I did not get a chance to actually prime it. So I have plenty of other alternatives, but I thought it'd be just kind of a fun starter and kind of a way to give people an opportunity to get in the room and sort of shuffle in if we opened another mystery blind, mystery blind pack. This one, we've been doing a lot of the Ravenloft ones, and I did a few of the Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. Spelljammers has not come out yet. I'm probably going to grab that book. I really want to play a campaign with Spelljammers. I'm like super obsessed. So I think we're definitely going to do that on the channel. But I definitely want to buy some of the models for it. But for folks that don't know what these are, this is WizKids. They've been doing this now where they make pre-painted miniatures for your D&D campaigns. I like doing this in like the board game show because it's kind of fun. It's an alternative. It's $20 for most of these boosters, although some places, I got this at Newbury Comics, they actually do, I think, charge $1 or $2 more than they normally should, which is kind of annoying, but they do get them through a third party. They don't have like a direct distributor like stores would. And the idea is that they are about 20. You get 4 painted models, although, right, 4 collectible figures inside. Although for us, we've actually opened a lot of these, and I've gotten like 5. There was one I got 6 in. It's kind of crazy. They kind of are giving us more models, so I don't know what's going on. I will say this particular blind box is very unpredictable. It doesn't have a rhyme or reason to it, so it is extremely possible that it is just not... they're just not packaged well. They do kind of break... and stuff, and they are deceivingly light. So you never know what you're going to get in these. This one is Icons of the Realm, Storm King's Thunder. So if you do not know what Storm King's Thunder is, it's kind of, it's sort of like their Norse mythology kind of thing. It's like more giants, like big gods, things like that. So it's an interesting realm. Because Storm King's Thunder, it's also where bug people are, other stuff like that. So you can see here, there are 44 figures in the set. A few examples of what you can get. I think that is, I was going to say, King Hecatan. He's a big, big character. He's a cool model. There are actually, the giants in this set are pretty cool, and I'm a big giant fan. So, like I said, I thought this would be a good, like, little starter course for this. And then we're going to get into some painting. If you guys like this and want to see me unbox more of these, you need to tell me in the comments that you do. And also, if this is your first time with us and this is the first time that you're at the show, please say hi. Jump into the chat. Let's talk about something. We're going to be doing Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. But I actually am planning on using some of these models in Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's why it's kind of related. Where my goal is for us to have that kind of multi-dimensional fight or throwdown. And that's going to be related to some of the other models we're going to paint, because I don't think we're going to take too long to paint this gentleman tonight. We're going to do a couple of things to punch him up and do some little fun like details, but he's pretty almost done. We actually finished a lot of him in the last one. So cool. Without further ado, let's open this sucker up. Let's see if my luck streak continues and I get 5 models in here instead of 1. I also may be misperceiving. Get the frig out of here. I didn't call this, did I? What is that? What is that? Alright, so let's see. Okay. So we did get the right amount of models, so that is true. Oh, that sucks. Man, it is like, it is a... Oh. Watch me snap this. Oh, that's kind of funny because I have a premium model that's sort of like this model. That is very funny. This actually could be used in a different capacity. Really weird stance for a model. Okay. Cool. I promise I will show. I lose a viewer immediately. I love. Oh, okay. Okay. We're gonna have that kind of show tonight. Okay. All right. So we're gonna have the show where things just fall. That's. Okay. That's dirty. Oh, that's also... Wow, the quality of these are not as good. These must have been... Yeah. Alright, so what I'm noticing about these is that they are... I don't want to say that they're bad quality, but they're like... I think this was an earlier set of these, because I definitely could see some production issues, if you will, with these. Let me just pop up this way. All right, I have no clue. Where did it go? Like, really? Oh, there it is. That's insane. Are they? Okay, no, they're not. I was going to say, that's nuts. Okay. So there's a lot of interesting things going on here. So, okay. I feel like I've opened these before. All right. I also feel like I'm gonna break one of these. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Wow. All right. I think I might. I feel like I'm gonna I might actually repose these. We might do a video like that. All right. So first off, let's do... This is just wacky. Okay, so this set's a little bit different than the other ones. By the way, these products were made in China, in case you guys were wondering. That's so unfortunate. Like, I'm definitely going to break this. I'm going to snap it, I think. Because I'm trying to... Oh, man. I mean, I will say that about these models. Like, the models, you can usually bend them back with your hand, but you got to be real careful. You can actually heat these up, too. Oh, my God. It's just unfortunate. Like, I don't know why they would make... Like, because they're like, they are resin, but they're kind of rubber, too. So it's like, yeah, you get what you pay for. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. All right. So, first off, so let's go over the first one we got in the box. This is, again, you can tell these are earlier, as the paints are not as good. They also didn't paint the bottom of this one. Like, there's just, like, a lot of production issues with this. 17 out of 45. And it's a 3 keen. 3 keen. Which are, like, they're like bug people. They live in the desert. they're like a slave race. They're kind of what Meek is. If you think of Meek from the Marvel universe, they're sort of like Meek in the D&D universe. Um, they are warriors though, so that's kind of cool. Then this next set is just weird. I got it's a Kenku. Kenku are like bird people. Oh, you guys cannot see that because it is not in focus. Kenku are like bird people. But what is unique about this set, and I'm going to show both of them, is that we got 2 Kenku pieces. So I was saying this in one of the other ones we unboxed, which I was not aware that they actually did do this in some of the sets. I was like, it would be really great if they did like alternate numbers, and you get like an archer or a guy, but it's sort of like you get different versions of them. So if you wanted to do an ambush, you could have a bunch of them ambush you. Well, it looks like in this set they actually did that, but this is not how I wanted my booster to go, where I got literally like I like, it's funny because I said, oh, this is a great idea, and now I got it and I'm like, this is not a great idea, this is terrible. And then we have, of course, the coolest model, which is a Frost Giant, and you'll notice it says 29B, which means there must be alternative Frost Giants. And the reason I was it was interesting to me is that I actually have a premium formatted Frost Giant that was like a non-painted model, and all I'm doing now is I'm trying to subtly get this. It's going to probably eventually snap it, but I'm trying to get it to not lean forward. With these models, you can sometimes, they're pliable to a point where you can kind of bend them to get them back into place, and they just like kind of, it all depends on where they're kept, because again, the HeroClix, they're great, they're nicely painted, but it's very basic painting, and the material is, like I said, it's kind of like a resin rubber. Some aspects are cast in full resin, some are not. These are earlier, so these are made more like HeroClix used to be made, so they get like very deformed and bendy. So like, that is an unfortunate part about this. So like, again, you get 4 collectible models that are painted, but you do get some quality issues. Again, all of the bigger figures that they do, they always are really nice because the paint is always better. The detail is always better. And probably this is a rarer piece to get. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty stoked because like these pieces are nice pieces to get. And I was saying that this could actually be used in my Frost Giant army. But it's good for an ambush. It's good for an encounter. It's a nice encounter monster. It's like a good like mid-boss monster. Or could even be the like big monster of your like one-shot encounter. So these are always cool because you could beef them up. This could be like a main character monster, but so happy that this is. Of course, I haven't really opened this set, so I don't think I have anything that is from it. Although I kind of feel like I did. In general, I feel like there is a box somewhere with a bunch of these minis that I do not remember. But that was our, again, what was this box? I've already, everything is falling. It's literally everything around me is just falling on the ground. So this was Storm King's Thunder. When I saw it, I thought it was actually the King that I had mentioned earlier, the model that we got. It's not one of the models in the box. I'm pretty sure I've gotten a Cloud Giant before. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I have a box of minis somewhere that I have to just find. Because I definitely remember getting some of these. And anything. But, so this is just a warm-up. I thought it'd be cool to go over some of this stuff now. So I'm going to put these to the side. And then, I truly do mean it. We're probably going to take a slight break to this stuff. Because I have to recoup. It's $20 a pop every time I do one of these. I'm not sponsored. I'm not any of those things. So, alright. Back to what we all came here for. Which is Marvel Crisis Protocol. So, I don't have a model review for tonight. Because I didn't build any of my models. Unfortunately, that also got delayed. I thought we would have Heimdall and Destroyer. I thought we were going to have those guys available. Oh, that might be a legit. I have a legit crack on my screen of my phone. That's not good. So that got kind of 86th in the plan. So we're gonna just go for it. We're gonna do some more gold detailing on this guy, and see what we could do. And like I said, we have plenty of other things to go for painting tonight, so I'm not worried about having content. Oh, was I doing actual gold? Oh, right. This guy is... Nope, we're not doing this gold. That's right. I'm confusing two painting projects. We were using that gold for something else. This was the gold we were using on our demon. I need Retributor armor, which is what you use usually for Stormcast Eternals, but I'm going to be using them for him because he has a more regal gold on him. A more all right. I'm going to go for a smaller brush in a minute. If I keep using this big brush, I'm probably going to mess up and get gold on something I shouldn't get gold on. I got to be careful because he does have gold. Like these are gold gold accessories, but he's got a very white face. Like I don't want to use a big brush to get all of that. You know, a lot of people ask me that question a lot, which is like I've had it come up a couple of times in our streams. They're like, I'm so nervous to do what you do to get inside of a model, and most of it is sometimes it's just a little bit of practice. But the technique that you're seeing me use is I'm literally just, in most cases, just like tapping the brush in there. So, because like this, what I'm doing right now, I really should be doing this with a smaller brush. But I've just gotten used to doing the tap method, so I like get in there. But you can see already he's looking pretty good. But like you can see, so now that I did that method, I have to now retouch some of the black because I did go a little bit over. So you're not really saving yourself time. That's the myth, is that if you use the bigger brush, oh, but I'll use one brush and I'll be fast. But that's not what ends up happening, because you make so many other mistakes that you have to go back and, you know, retouch all those mistakes. So then, did you really save yourself any time? And the answer to that is no, you didn't save any time, because you got to go back and do double the work anyway. So what's a better method is to figure out like what areas you're going to paint, and then you sort of just like, I usually move from like big brush to small brush, and that usually works out much better, that method. We're going to do the eyes now. Always my both favorite step, and it can be both my favorite and least favorite step all at the same time. And part of why it's my least favorite step is because in a lot of cases, and this model is very, very much in that vein, it is hard to see the eyes. The eyes are a little tough. So on the other side, might actually be decent. Yeah, so like that is way, way too much. Actually, that's actually not that bad. I'll have to probably do a little bit of white touch up. I'm going to wait until that dries. But you guys can see already with the eyes painted how different he looks. But that is more accurate. We went a little too much red there. It's hard. Sometimes the deeper eyes are cool. I don't know. I think the secret is usually when you look down at the model. I'll see if the eyelid, because I might have gotten that lower eyelid with some red. But we're going to put some pupils in there as well. So that's going to make a very big difference with that model. And then for Templar Black, we're going to do some touch-ups really quick. Originally, that middle section that's white, I was going to, would be a Templar Black situation. But what I'm going to do now is just through and just put some Templar Black in there. Now, what I also noticed is that, oh shoot, I didn't do Templar Black. Crap. All right, well, you know what? We're gonna rock it. I actually like that better. Okay, cool. So we're gonna. All right, so this is me not remembering what I did for the model. That's right. The Space Wolf Gray is what we used in there, but we're gonna. I was focused on the cape that I completely forgot that we used that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of this match. But honestly, it might actually turn out better. I'll show you guys why. Because now it's going to tie the black cape to the whole model. So I actually do like this because I went a little off script. He's really supposed to all be black, but I didn't want to do all black because if you do all black, then he'll look like too one-dimensional as a character. But if I do this, then there'll be like some depth to his color scheme. And then what I could do is maybe we're not going to do all of it. I'm just going to do like a little bit of it. Because then I don't want to like take away that Space Wolf Gray because it actually is really nice. Because like I said, I went so different in his character that I want to bring some of that flair back, but I don't want to like completely abandon that lighter color because I think the lighter color is kind of fun. But I think like what's happening now where there's like a difference in the tone is just fun. Again, just doing it for the top armor, and then I might, but you could already see he has a different feel and a different tone to him, which I like. So yeah, you guys can actually see just how we're doing that, which I think looks really cool. And then the thing I actually got the Templar Black for, which I totally now just created a whole other thing, was I was getting it for here because I wanted to undo what I had done here, and I also noticed that some of this didn't necessarily get painted Templar Black, so it kind of looked a little off. Like I said, he's pretty much done. There's a little bit of edge highlighting we're going to do for him, and then we're going to move on to a different painting project, which may have some similar ties to him. You know what? Let's just complete that theme, shall we? Because it actually looks pretty cool. So I'm kind of just doing that same approach on the bottom area of him as well. I don't think... I'll relook at the sample that I had, but I don't think he gets painted gold. It's just really... He only has a few gold accents on him. But I like this... I like this feel of bringing out some black in some of the other areas of his costume. Again, as a way to like unify the costume. So now when you look at him, there's like some jet black in there as well, and it just kind of brings... Now, if I'm not mistaken, the top armor has to have the gold. I don't... Like I said, I'm pretty sure... that these do not get the gold treatment, but I will double check the painting. Do I have it here? I do. Oh nope, I was wrong. So all of it gets the gold treatment. So we are still paying. All right, so he actually has a lot more to go. So I did do this right then. All right, cool. Yeah, on the paint samples, they tend to gravitate to they're painting a lot of their models with the term is like luminance. So what does that mean? Well, they like to do, like, I noticed that for a lot of the paint samples on Atomic Mass Games' website, they have a tendency to like to use you know, their highlights or edge highlights. It's creating like a light source, which I mean, again, is like that is traditional painting. A lot of people, their edge highlights are that. I mean, that's what edge highlights are supposed to do. You're supposed to create. What just happened? I just saw that's really weird. Unless did my Creative Suite just try to install updates? That's probably what happened. Yeah, so we have a lot more gold that we have to put in the mix. And then, like I said, for you guys that are watching, please post up comments. And I told you guys we were gonna give Marvel Crisis Protocol one more chance. So it was gonna have its like big next couple of weeks, and if I didn't see the audience participation like rev up, we might consider doing different painting on Mondays. So if you are in the group that would like to see more Marvel Crisis Protocol painting, I was gonna say you better make that voice heard, and come and see us, because it's very hit or miss with our Marvel Crisis Protocol painting content. So if I, like, this is another night where we had what I would consider a very low audience participation. So we're probably, it's getting more and more in that vein. But every time I say that, that's my lucky charm. Every time I say that, then all of a sudden I get like 4 or 5 people come and join us. Now I get it. I know that we haven't really done a lot of advertising, so that is probably a big part to why we're not seeing the folks out there. I know that a lot of people, they say it a lot all the time. I was looking for a stream and I found you. Um, so it's interesting, and I know for in particular, um, they don't have like Atomic Mass Games does not have a Twitch page. They don't have a presence on Twitch. Um, so I don't know how many people who are searching us would even find us, because there's not really a community that might be looking. Um, I say that, but then there are actually content creators on Twitch that do different content. But our Warhammer content is definitely winning out over the Marvel Crisis Protocol, and that makes me sad. I mean, I know the game's doing okay. It's just sad that we don't have a lot of folks that want to see maybe painting of it, but I do find that a little on the sad side, just a tiny bit, but um it is what it is. All right. Oh. Nice. Yeah, I didn't realize that that all this. So I'm glad that I painted the black on there then, because that's gonna punch up the gold, which again, as I was saying before, he is traditionally these two colors, so the black and the gold. And that Retributor gold is really, really nice. It's funny because I actually been doing a lot of this type of painting, because my Stormcast Eternals, I'm actually doing them in black as opposed to gold, with Retributor gold as like the the relief for it, because they are I'm gonna have to redo all of this. That's hilarious. I'm being so bad with the gold. I'm gonna have to redo the black again, which is kind of funny. It's not that I'm being bad with it. It's that the way that they molded it, it's more of a ridge rather than like. So like typically when Jesus, when Games Workshop does something like this, it's a little bit of a more it's more of a consistent border. So more like the cuffs are, where it's like very raised, very ridged, like it's very easy to know where you're putting that gold. For the armor, it's like a more of a suggestion, like, and it's such a small area where you can put that gold, that it's very easy, even with a small brush, to like overshoot it a little bit. Again, these are all things that I'm saying because I'm painting it and I can see them. Probably most people that would be looking at this model wouldn't be able to see the actual it also does not help that I'm like when I was saying before that I'm being like sloppy, I'm going a little too fast for painting this detail. Ah, and I'm also, not that I'm watering my brush, but I'm trying to use my brush in a different way to see if I could try something to play around with a different way to do the gold detailing so it's like a little bit quicker. But what it is instead doing is it's making it extremely messy. And this goes back to what I was saying before, which is you could try shortcuts sometimes, but the shortcuts just end up being making a mess, and then you have to go back and redo stuff anyway. Actually, I know I was like giving myself doubt on the eyes. The eyes actually look perfect, which is crazy. I've gotten better at doing the eyes, but there's a lot of different ways to do eyes. I mean, some people actually use, and I was starting to play with that method of using like an ink pen to do my eyes rather than using the paintbrush. But then, you could go a lot of other ways with that too. I know people that for eyes, they actually have like one bristle brushes, like they actually pull bristles out of brushes, so it's very few. So that it literally is like they just load the paint onto a few bristles and then like they're good to go, and it's kind of crazy. That people out there like have that level of craziness and detail, like. But what I was trying to do was get a fine like micron pen to do. I mean, that to me is the best way if you just have to do like normal pupils. Like in his case, we're gonna just put a white in that red because he's an alien, so he has like different color eyes. But if you're doing like straight up like humans and you just want to have a pupil, um, you can go about that in a different way. And I recommend a fine pen. So you just take the pen and then you're just like basically doing a dot in there. And because the pen is harder and it's not like paint, which is going to move around, you could be a lot more precise. So you put on, you get some magnifiers, and you just like get that nice precise pupil. Oh my god, this is so annoying. I love and hate doing gold trim. I think I said it the last time we were painting. I love all the commissions I've done, but I specifically had one commission where I had to like, and when I say this, it's 100%. It was 100% my fault because I I kind of procrastinated, so I like gave myself a lot less time to paint the army, which I shouldn't have done that, and then it obviously caused me to be very stressed out. So the reason why I have this affinity for the reason I have this affinity for gold trim is that the whole army had tons of gold trim. So when you are feeling that pressure or that deadline to get something done, and the majority of the project is like super fine detail work, um it it psychs you out a little bit, and it makes you like, I was just so by the end of it, I was so like angry and just like, you know, just like saying him. Oh man, I went way over on that. Jesus. You know, I was just saying to myself, this is like insane. I just want this to be over. Like, you know, wasn't having. You know, wasn't having the normal like good time I normally have working on a commission. Um, and so I was just like, you know, so needless to say, it sort of scarred me because then, like I said, I was like trying to rush, but I was doing something with high detail, so it was like I can't do that. The rushing caused me. Oh my god, I'm doing a really bad job on this tonight. Um, the rushing caused me like significant setbacks, and obviously it did the exact opposite of what I wanted it to do, which was it made me take longer to do what I was doing. Um, so yeah, so I was like, then I was just like super stressed out. All right, ooh, okay, I'm just gonna go back over this in black. I'm not gonna go super crazy and make myself nuts. I'll let that gold dry and then I'll just come back in and just you know, get things moving in the direction I want. And I'll just paint over all that. But yeah, so we're painting the Black Order. Galil, one of the generals of Thanos, pretty awesome guy. Definitely went a little bit, you know, did traditional with him, but tweaked it a little bit so he's got a little bit more flair. Because I wanted the model to do some more stuff. And just kind of give it that feel. And I'm just doing some more null oil in some of these cracks. We got to do a little bit, yeah, because I'm noticing as I'm looking at it. So you can see how that brings out all of, brings out all of that detail. In there, because I don't want to make his armor like he did traditionally in the comics like very, very black, very, very dark. But I don't want to do that for everywhere. I just wanted to give him a little bit of that feel, because I like having him have a little bit of a lighter costume, because it brings the model together. It brings more dynamic, more theater to it, and we got to do some more highlights. We're going to basically be done with him in a couple of minutes, and then we'll move on to some other cool models that we'll be using in a custom Marvel Crisis campaign. I'm in the process of working on it, and I'm gonna have to do a pretty awesome kit bash, which I'm gonna buy the models that I need for it, but I have a really cool idea for a character that is near and dear to my heart. I have rules for him, but I may tweak those rules just a tiny bit. And we're going to figure it out. But I have to do, because I thought I could use another games model for it, but they're too small. So I'm going to have to... figure that out. And I was going to say, Freddie... Oh, I lost my viewer. I lost the new person that was here. Yeah, I guess... I don't know. Like I said, I know for Warhammer, like when the folks were here last time, they were very candid on letting me know, like, kind of where they found us. And they said that they were just like, you know, they were just doing a search. they were looking for a Warhammer stream and found us on Twitch. So I know that people can see and find us. Um, but I guess, I don't know. I guess people, I don't know, when they get here, maybe they don't like what I'm painting. I don't know. But I always put it in the title. I mean, I always put like what we're painting and what's going on. So I don't know. But I will say, and something I learned early on in art and in all the things I do, is that you can't please everybody all the time. You could do the best you can, but yeah. But for the folks that did decide to join us this evening, thank you so much for being here. So like happy, and you guys are awesome, and you support us all the time. And I'm sure, because I know I have, my humble beginnings. I have a few loyal followers that, do tend to join us for most of my content. Do make the time to come and see us, and I always like to really just say thank you to those folks. I know there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things you could be watching, things you could be looking at, and you've chosen to come and hang out with us. So I always thank you and appreciate that. And as always, if you find it in your heart to want to check our Patreon or jumping on my website to hire me for commissions, those are great ways to support us monetarily. And that monetary support is really what I need to get this channel even further off the ground of where it is now. Because that's when I can get other people involved, I can get other equipment, and I just want to keep elevating the content so you guys get better content all the time. And it's crazy. We had a stronger start, and then I think I unlocked a lot of issues that I was having, and thought that I was moving in a direction that was positive. But like I said, we for some reason just lost a lot of the Marvel Crisis Protocol people. I don't know. We had a whole gang, a whole audience, and they jumped ship, I guess. And that's why I said, like, I know the game is doing. Oh Jesus, come on! I'm like holding everything at weird angles today. I think it's because I'm afraid you guys aren't seeing it. So I like all of a sudden am doubting myself that I'm like actually doing it. It might also just be, it is extremely hot where I am right now. So that heat I think is starting to get to me a little bit too. Cool. And that skeleton horde I'm using with contrast paint. So far, I use, like I said, Templar Black, the skeleton horde for the bone elements and the draping elements. We used Retributor Gold for the gold trim and gold elements on the model. So I've said this a couple of times. So when I paint, I use a combination of the GW contrast paints and a little bit of their Citadel range of paints, so their regular like opaque paints, and then I use a lot of like inking too. So I use kind of a combination of all those techniques to create a little bit more interest into the model. And then what I love about the contrast paints, you kind of saw me do a technique there with it already. You can use the contrast paints to you can layer them, so you can actually make them have a real great dynamic range and just have a very simple way. So I know a lot of people out there, quote unquote, kind of poo-poo the contrast paints or look at them as maybe lesser paints. But I can tell you with pretty good certainty, they are not they should not be looked at as like secondary or bad paints. I do tremendously cool paints with them all the time, and I know that like people have commented. Actually, I'm going to see something. I know I was using Templar for the other army. What would happen if I use the null oil on this? And I just use null oil to do the hole on the parchment. To say it should generate a shade, but it's not going to be that like that dark black that I have on the other thing. You know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like the null oil being there and just kind of darkening it and shading it. So that, again, it just adds another dimension or another coat to this. So that I like adding lots of different qualities of blacks. So that, I think I've said it before, like, it just makes him feel more real. Like, it makes him feel different. And I also like having... I also like just having... And null oil is great for what I just did there. Use the null oil just to go into those cracks so you get all the breakdown of the fingers. So it, like, instantly puts it... I use null oil a lot for edging. So you guys will see what I mean in a minute. I like using it. So if like a character's holding something, or there's like an edge to a staff, or there's an edge to something, it instantly makes like a cast shadow on there, so it makes it look more three-dimensional. It always works real well. So you kind of have a built-in shade to it. When I said before, like, we're going to do some little stuff to him, this is that little stuff. These are the little touches that usually make the difference, you know? This is what takes it from that, like, maybe more like amateur level, but brings it to a more pro level for your paint. And it's just a little tiny things that bring it home. And we're gonna do one more thing, which is gore. Because the reality is, he is a character that is not a good character, and he murders lots of people in the comic books. So we're gonna help him out with that by putting a little bit of gore on his weapon. So this is just spackle technique. So the weapon looks like it's been bloodied. Now you can. Some people will do this. They'll add like particles to it. I don't go crazy. I don't want to go nuts. I want to have like a little bit of a spray trail on the sidewalk, but I don't want to like super bloody it up. I just want to have a little bit of gore. So again, it makes him just have a little bit more, again, that fear, a little bit more of that horror element. And I just realized there is a little bit more gold trim that I didn't do. But I am very happy with the way he's coming out. And again, he's got a little bit more of like the claws and stuff. I wanted to make him a little bit more elf-like, a little bit more like a dark elf kind of feel, which he's supposed to be. He's essentially supposed to be a dark elf because he's from a planet or a realm of elves. Oh my god, I cannot paint. The gold trim is beating me at every turn. But yeah, it's he's not. Actually, I think he might. I thought in the comic books, and if there's anybody out there that wants to challenge me on this, first off, feel free to. Yeah, this is just too much paint. Okay. All right, so we gotta. I'm like. I believe he is supposed to be the same species as Malekith. I think they are supposed to come from the same planet or same realm. Just he joined Thanos, whereas Malekith is more like his own chaotic being. Yeah, Malekith is more like he's a more chaotic being. He also technically has control of the animals. That's one of Malekith's bigger powers that a lot of people forget, is that he has the ability to influence animals, which is why he tends to ride ridiculous beasts in the comic books, and like has just these crazy minions that he summons in the comics and stuff. Because similar to Thor, he can understand creatures and beings. So like I was gonna say it they bring it up in the Thor movies, but so part of the reason that Thor can talk to Groot and he can talk to other beings is because it's I thought in the comic books it was actually part of his hammer. Like part of his power was knowledge based too, like he could access knowledge. Or it might have also been that because he was royalty, he learned. I think that is part of it too, that he like. Okay, that's crazy. I don't know how to get. Sorry, guys. All right, so that just needs to be painted black. There is no way to get to that reveal of that. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. All right, that's cool. So we got all that done. Nice. I am happy with the way he's coming out. I have to do a little bit of touching up on him. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. Yeah, totally forgot. You gotta essentially paint all of this because that's all part of that armor, which has the gold trim. like I said, when you have something with gold trim, I don't know what it is, but it becomes this epic. I feel like it always becomes an epic battle where you have to find all of it. Because you'll be like, oh, I have this armor that has like gold trim, and then you have to like go through and find like where it is, where is the cuff for it. So like I had to go through and find all of that. So it's great and it looks good when it's done, but you have to like go in and find and be like, all right, cool, it wraps around here, it goes here. Where am I going to go with it? No, he's looking real good. I'm really digging the way that this is looking. We got some gore on the blade. There's some blood on the base. So he looks like he's fighting and having a crazy time here. Now, what I was gonna play with, and the idea I was gonna play with, which is either gonna work really well or it's gonna work really crappy. So what I wanted to do is more like a dry brush technique. Not everywhere, but just like in certain areas. Yeah, just to give it like a little bit of broken up like dirt. Nah, I don't know if I liked it that much. That's the problem with black, and that's why I didn't want the whole thing to be black. Let me just do a little bit more. I don't know. I was trying some dry brush techniques just to kind of see what I feel. I don't know if it works. He looks better when it's just all black. I don't think I want to do that. I might just take some of the ones I did on the top just to kind of see. So like if I were to re-clean this up, let's just see something. And it was more like, yeah, more like that. There we go. I like that a lot better. Yeah, I like the idea of like a little bit of it, but not like a lot of it. Yeah, this isn't working. That works for the top, I think. And I might leave it for the holes, but it definitely didn't work for like an accent or something. It just didn't work. The texture on the cape is not enough to do that. But what I can do, which is something I normally do, and I'll see if it works with the black, is I can go into these areas here. Into these, like, yeah. Yeah, I just like that better. I think it looks good for the top. I'm sorry guys. I know I'm doing like a lot of like crazy spinning. I hate when I do that to you guys who are watching, but I have to get into so what I'm doing now is I'm just going in and like putting more black in certain areas just to kind of darken certain areas. I think this will make the whole model just have a better. And this is part of why they use the blue. So when we were talking before, and I was saying they tend to use the blue a lot more. This is part of why they do that, because the blue shows up on the black better. Again, for Ghost Rider, when I did his leather jacket, that technique worked really well. For him, it's not as it doesn't work as well. So I was trying something I had done. Something I had tried on a previous model. And it just didn't work that well on this one. I'm just getting some opportunity areas that I noticed. Again, I'm going through and just looking at where there are natural folds, natural like other things, so I can bring some of those folds out with some darker, just bringing the Templar black and putting it on there. So you're getting more now of the natural like energy of that cape. So now it looks like it's kind of billowing or bustling under the wind. And again, I'm just doing this by oversaturating that black and just coming in and like pooling it in certain areas. So all these like folds that it has are getting a little bit more drama to them. So I'm just kind of bringing that brush up, and you guys can see there's very, very strong lines now. So we have these very strong, and I like doing this with the Marvel characters. They're very, very graphic, so I like making these graphic elements happen in there. You know, even you know, even something as simple as those white lines on top, I'm doing all of that because it makes this graphic feel to him. Which I personally like. I think it works well. I think it's nice. Yeah, he's very, very close to done. He is not very, very much you know, left to be done. And I always say this. I always say we're gonna paint a second model, and I feel like we never get to it because I didn't realize how much gold trim and like detail he still had. I thought I was a little bit more on the finish side with him, but I'm not. He's got a little bit he's got a little bit more work to do. All right, let's see if I can do this. I hate what I'm about to do. Let's see. A little too much. I'm gonna have to fix that. I gotta. Oh, because it was watery. That's why. Ah. That's why. All right. Let me get my. Let me get these on there. Oh. All right. Let's see if I can get things moving in the right direction, shall we? Because I gotta. So what I just did, guys. Oh. Is I put my magnifiers on. Because as you can see, I made already a couple of mistakes, and we're gonna see if I can get things back on track. Like I said, eyes are always the most difficult thing to paint, and the reason behind the why, well, oh man. Alright, so we're going to play this in a little bit of a different way. Alright, so we're not, I don't usually do this, but I'm not going to do that pupil effect in both eyes. And I'll explain the rationale as to the why. The rationale to the why is that we're going to pretend like one of his eyes is open larger than the other. Almost like he's squinting at someone on the battlefield. It'll give him a little bit of character, but it's also because it's one of these things that happens sometimes with molding. The mold on one side is a little bit different than the other. I don't know if it's because I maybe put a little too much primer in one. Sometimes the eyes, they get the primer fills it. Now, this is where it's going to get a little on the tricky side because I don't want to make him too dark. I don't want to over darken his face, but the white is what is making it hard for us to see him. All right, that looks super better. That looks really, really good. All right. Oh my God. All right, let me just get. Right, now what I'm doing now, should I have been doing this the entire time I was painting this guy? Probably. Because he's pretty small. His features are very small. So I probably shouldn't have tried to do it with my naked eye. It would have come out a lot better had I done that way. But I'm pretty happy and stoked with what's going on. So that's good. And again, I love painting the Marvel Crisis Core figures. I say it all the time, even if you don't play the game. I mean, it is a great way to get premium figures of characters that you may love if you're a big Marvel Comics fan like I am. You may walk around and be like, "This is the coolest thing ever," which, I mean, why wouldn't you? But yeah, it's definitely sorry guys, I'm just correcting something. Actually, this is a cool little trick I'll show you guys. So, if you look, I painted it in Apothecary White. Oh, that is not where the trick is cool. But now what I'm doing is I'm actually like just tapping some white on it. So what you get is you actually get a lighter Apothecary White if you do it this way. And it can be very cool because then, and you'll see how I'm going to do it here. This is how you can this is a way to so if my old painting teacher was here, he would say painting the light, which is what I call that. So look at how we punched that back up, and it looks so good now. Because all I did was just a little bit of dry brushing, just brushing that white back in. So we punched up some of his features, and now those eyes are playing better. It looks fabulous. He looks so good. Now we're going to touch up that Griffin Charger Gray on the staff, and we should be ready to go. Actually, I think this is going to be all she wrote for him because I think everything has kind of gotten in the space that I wanted it. And it's funny, I was going to paint one of the indie models I had for the custom campaign, but I think we're actually doing pretty well with what we painted tonight. So I may call it quits for tonight. I don't know. Because I had a pretty rough, long day today. So I'm probably going to call it. I might try to call it early or take a little time for me. So I can catch up on some sleep. But like I said, guys, if you really like what you saw and you don't want to see us not do Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, you really gotta set those reminders on the calendar and definitely come and join us for Monday nights, because if I continue to have the turnouts I'm having, I'm gonna have to call it quits on this. I mean, again, we'll still do battle reports and I'll still work to the bigger projects that I was gonna do, but I just am not seeing the same desire, I guess, for the content. So if you guys don't want to see this content, you don't want to like see me paint these models, then I won't bother to make it a staple. I was doing it because, you know, I wanted us to focus on a few different, you know, companies and bigger games. You know, I don't know if out there you guys are more into their Star Wars Legion, or, you know, other games that Atomic Mass Games makes. I don't know. The best way to let us know is to message us on Twitch, or catch us on social media. Any of those any of the platforms that we have links to, so I can know a little bit better what you guys want to see. I know it's tough when we're a multifaceted channel, because I feel like when you're a multifaceted channel where you kind of do more stuff than just that one focus, it's always a trickier business, because you know you sort of get different audiences for different stuff. And so you know, like if your audience for one thing is just lower because, you know, maybe there's just not that many people from that group checking you out, or maybe they're waiting for you to do something else or whatever. I know a lot of people, and I think it's really funny that this is a thing. I know a lot of people don't participate or chat because they're like, oh, well, we don't want to interrupt you while you're painting. And I'm like, well, that's the whole point, though. You're supposed to interrupt me while I'm painting, because I want to talk to you. I want to talk and answer questions and help you with your painting projects and all that stuff. So it's actually the opposite. I want to be a part of what you're doing. So it's kind of funny. I really like how this came out. I think we're in great shape. I think it looks good. We now have a little bit of that blood effect. We put some gore on the blade, which is a little bit of a good touch. Definitely has that presence. Definitely feels like powerful, which I really like. And again, did kind of tweak it and go a little bit away from their paint design. It's still fairly the same idea. It's just that we went a little bit off script and kind of customized it in our way. Because I wanted something that was going to bounce a little bit more and have just like a little bit more drama to it. Because, you know, like I said, it could be very boring to have something that's black on black, but I think this actually works really well. And, you know, we added those little flare touches that were ours. So, I think, you know, besides one more final touch, I think he is good to go. And I think he is very table ready. We're going to try to paint that other order member. And again, I apologize that we didn't have her ready to go tonight. But it just, like I said, we just had bad weather here, so I wasn't able to prime her. Because, you know, I'm, you know, as many others may attest to, I am very much a subject of the weather, or subjective to the weather. So when it comes to priming, obviously, if you are not aware, if you're newer to the hobby, you don't want to prime when, you know, temperatures are very different. You know, whether it's the temperature is very warm or the temperature is very cool, because you will you'll get some really weird anomalies in your priming. You know, and vice versa. If you ever want weird stuff to happen to your primes, you can actually consider doing it at the times that are kind of wacky or weird, because they will actually be different. So all I'm doing now is I'm just using the null oil to punch up some of the sidewalk cracks, just to give that a little bit more drama. So already we have a very different base. But again, I love where we got to with this model. I think it looks terrific. It just looks nice. It looks clean. It's got a little bit of a painterly feel to it in places, but he definitely looks like he's ready for business and coming to get you. And I love that we customized some gore effects. There's now some gore on the bottom, so it just looks really cool. Obviously, there's other ways you could do it too. You could kit bash, you could model bash, you could do a bunch of other stuff. But I really, really like it. I think it looks good. I'm excited because he's done. We unboxed some of those other miniatures, so we got some more D&D miniatures, which are cool, and we got a big fig one, which is awesome. I love when I get the bigger models. And like I said, guys, come and see us for more Marvel Crisis Protocol. We'll next week, I'll definitely have this primed, then we'll get the last order member done so we can play maybe some fun Thanos scenarios with the heroes trying to outwit and get him. And then we have our multi-dimensional fighters from other realms. So yes, these are they are exactly what they look like, which is Dragon Ball minis. I was actually able to find someone who makes these, and I have quite a lot of the Dragon Ball Characters. We already painted Vegeta. We already painted Majin Buu. So I'm very excited because I want to have those in our campaign. So we're going to have a lot of different characters from different multiverses showing up, and just checking out what we're doing. And as a reminder, if you want to check out other videos on my channel, we did a couple of paint series of painting up Nick Fury. So he was one of the recent models we finished. And then I actually still have to finish him, but Beast, which is pretty much finished. There's only like a little couple of details left on him, but which is mostly just doing his glasses, his eyes, and then the teeth. But I'm very happy how he came out as well. So we have a lot of pretty awesome Marvel Crisis Protocol models. So if you are interested in this content, like I said, please contact us, let us know. And please try to come and see us next Monday when we're going to be doing more painting of more Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. But like I said, if the next week, I'm going to give it a one more week after that, we don't see a big boost in our audience, we're probably going to move a different show onto Monday nights. It's probably actually going to be, maybe we'll do Age of Sigmar one night, we'll do 40K another night, and then we'll leave Wednesdays to be like an indie night so we can do things like Bantic Games and other companies, because maybe Marvel Crisis Protocol is not interesting to you guys anymore. I don't know. I do have a couple of new models, so we'll see. Maybe that's what you guys are getting stale. You're like, he's painting old models, like the old first G models. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is. But I'm definitely looking forward to painting a little bit more and getting some more models ready for our custom campaign and such. So if you want, please check out our Patreon and website. The website is where you can hire me for commission-based work. So if you want me to do commission painting for you, that's where you contact me. And artwork as well. I am an artist and do commission work for that as well. So if you could, check that out. That monetary support is so important. We will be launching another Patreon that's going to be game-focused. I have just been so swamped and busy that I'm not able to get stuff off the ground. And also the Patreon would allow me to get others involved so I can have other people help with the channel and up and elevate our game and our content. So please check it out. Come see us. As always, thank you for the folks that do support us and come and see us on our weekly shows. I know there's just times of the year where people are not around too, but please share this with other people in your life. Please share it with your friends. Please share it with other folks that you think might be interested. The more that we have our audience bigger and reaching out, the more that we can get other folks involved and hopefully see us when we are live. And as a reminder, tomorrow we're going to be doing Games Workshop stuff. We're going to probably just keep rocking Age of Sigmar. I have a couple of Vampire Count models. I have some Stormcast Eternals, and Be'lakor. We have to just tidy him up, but Be'lakor is pretty much done. We're going to do some gore. We're going to do some fun stuff. So please come and check it out. All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.